Purina believes no one should have to make the impossible choice between their own safety and their pets. But nearly half of domestic abuse survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters so survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit purina.com/purple to learn more.
Hello, I'm Diane Morgan. If you know who I am, you know who I am. If you don't, who cares? I'm here to explain Italian Time, a holiday phenomenon where Italians throw away their clocks and gather for eternity with San Pellegrino. I've been at this party so long that I've eaten 5 courses, hugged someone's grandma twice, and been offered a job in the family restaurant. So this holiday season, make sure to bring enough San Pellegrino to last you through the meal, the after meal, and the entire goodbye ritual. San Pellegrino, holiday on Italian Time.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
Breaking news are happening now.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Reality Flash. My name is Mike Bloom, and I'm here to bring you the flashiest breaking news in the wild world of reality TV. Today, I've got something just a little different for you, as for the first time, the Reality Flash is venturing into the world of interviews to talk with an out-and-out reality TV titan about the new All-Star series Got to Get Out, coming to Hulu tomorrow, April 11th. But first, I am always one to tease, but I would never be one to fish for likes. We all know this at this point. It's established. But I'm always fishing for subs and tips. So make sure you subscribe to this very podcast at therealityflash.com. And while you're there, please leave a rating, leave a review, leave your thoughts about this little show we've got going on. And of course, if you spot any reality TV news that you want me to cover, no spam, no solicitations, just tips at therealityflash.com. Again, just tips at therealityflash.com. So, a couple weeks ago, I hopped onto this very podcast, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, because there was a brand new reality show on the horizon just announced called Got to Get Out on Hulu. The concept was simple yet complicated, and that it left a lot of answers as to how it would work. And so I'm here to provide a bit more clarity, remind you as to how Got to Get Out works, some of its biggest cast members, and in the second half of this podcast, I got to speak with one of said cast members, Omarosa, she of The Apprentice, The Celebrity Apprentice, The Surreal Life, Celebrity Big Brother, House of Villains. We'll see if it's another House of Villains here in the Got to Get Out mansion. So for the uninitiated, Got to Get Out is this really intriguing concept where 20 people are essentially and literally locked inside of a house. Their goal is to escape, and they have a lot of monetary reasons to do so. Time is quite literally money in Got to Get Out, as there is a big-ass screen in the middle of the living room. For every second that passes in the game, $1 is added to the communal pot that whoever lasts until the end of this 10-day experience will take home. So the longer you stay, if you just decide to wait out the entire 10-day period, it gets up to $1 million. Split 20 ways, $50,000. Not terrible, good chunk of change, but as always, temptations await. And so what happens is, if you get to escape the mansion at any point in time and you successfully get out, and by getting out, it's that you get outside of the house, you go down this long serpentine eternal driveway, sort of like Snake Way from Dragon Ball Z, and you get out the gates and into the getaway car, you end up taking home all the money that has been accrued up to that point. Yourself, the runner, whoever gets through those gates, keeps the money, and the pot resets back to zero. So it's this really interesting balance of, okay, do you wait for, a certain threshold to hit, and then you decide that you're going to go for it? Is there a certain amount of money that you try to make your escape versus trying to play this sort of like community-based role? The term is used a lot in the show of offense versus defense. And defense plays a huge role in this because if you want to get out, it ain't that simple. Because, first off, the entire place is locked with these big ass red locks. Now, there might be opportunities throughout the show where you find out at a certain money threshold, aka a certain time of day, these locks will magically open. And then you'll be able to use that door, use that window, use that hatch if you want to get out and make a run for it. But there is an in-house, quite literally, security team. This house is outfitted with this sort of watchtower, this sort of big deck on the very top of it where people can look out at the driveway and the yard as a whole for any suspicious activity. And if they see something, they can switch something. There is a big switch. It's almost like an executioner's, pull the lever type of device that they flip down, sets off this big klaxon alarm system through the rest of the house, in particular to the center room where there is a button. A big red button. Like they basically just painted over the "that was easy" from the Staples branding from like 10 to 15 years ago. If somebody hits the button, if the gate was open, the gate at the bottom, their escape, the permanent barrier that is preventing them from getting all the cash they've accrued to this point, will promptly close, and so will their chances of getting away with any money up to that point. And so you'll see as the show begins to when it ends, all the various strategies that are going to be involved. How do you evade the people at the top of the watchtower so they don't flip the switch, so they don't alert everyone who's downstairs? How do you try to prevent people from pressing the button because it's instantaneous? As soon as they do that, it's game over. So you have to figure out tactics as to how to avoid these ways of triggering the group to know that something's up. And that often involves cooperation in a very different way than the defensive portion of this game. There's a lot of working together, partnering up with people, finding groups, creating diversions, creating various tactics to try to figure out how to get one person out. Because then the hope is, okay, if we all work together, then when this person gets past the gates, they're going to be able to split whatever they earn with the rest of us. But, that's one person's choice. And maybe they might stick to that. Maybe they might not. Because we do have quite a motley crew helming got to get out. So the cast brands itself as reality TV veterans versus newbies. For those that are like really dyed-in-the-wool nerds of competitive unscripted television like yours truly, it's a really weird demarcator considering you have people like Gino from Big Brother Canada 10, who's going by Steven in the show. You have Jill from Outlast. You have a contestant from Squid Game, The Challenge. And they are, competing alongside. Of course, you have your Omarosas, your Spencer Pratts, even like your Kim Zolciaks, who have been on TV for a good portion of time. But then you have like Rashad Jennings as a reality TV veteran, and like they've been on just as many seasons as he has. I mean, the labels pretty much get erased as soon as they walk into the house anyway. And even from the newbies' perspective, there's a lot of reality TV history involved in there, not just in the resume, but you have someone like Steve Helling, who, worked in the space of reality TV journalism for nearly 25 years. You have Nick, who is a game designer who also was not only a Survivor Dream Teamer, but also invented a maze that actually got used in a challenge in Survivor Cagayan. So we sometimes see in these shows that mix together reality TV veterans and newbies that it just seems like leading lambs to the slaughter. But this is not necessarily a show where you can eliminate said lambs by just, voting them out from time to time. There really isn't that much of a huge mechanism of elimination involved in Got to Get Out outside of actually getting out. And also, some of these people are bringing it in a certain way, either banking on their previous reality TV experience as sort of obfuscated as it might be by production, or bringing their own personality in a different way to hopefully make their own mark and become one of these reality TV stars to come in a recurring fashion. So that should hopefully be all you need to know at the outset of Got to Get Out. Again, tomorrow, April 11th, Friday, all 8 episodes of the show are dropping on Hulu. These are about 42 to 43 minute episodes. You have the fantastically mellifluous voice of Simu Liu as your narrator, guiding us through all the tomfoolery that is to happen. And there'll be a lot of tomfoolery to talk about as well. Just to give a quick plug before we take a break here and get into my conversation with Omarosa, this will not be the only coverage I'm doing of Got to Get Out. Again, we're trying something a little bit different here on the Reality Flash. This is sort of like mini flashy coverage of some of these reality shows because they seem to be popping up everywhere in a manner of speaking. So the next Reality Flash podcast I'll be doing is actually over the weekend. You know, you'll hopefully get the chance to watch Got to Get Out. And then on Monday, I'll be back in your eyes and ears, giving you the top 10 moments from my perspective of Got to Get Out. The highs, the lows, the big character moments, the big money-making moments, perhaps. We'll get into essentially our own recap of the series, boiled down through some of its biggest moments. And I will not be alone. I will be joined by 2 people who know their way around these sort of like random reality TV all-star shows that pop up on these cable networks in the form of Jenny Autumn and Chappelle. I am getting the House of Villains GOAT team back together here to talk through their thoughts on Got to Get Out, as well as some of its biggest moments. But before then, I've teased plenty about this show. I think it's more proper that we hear from one of the stars who walked into the house and decided to lock herself in it in the chances of winning hundreds of thousands of dollars. So after the break, I'll be back in a flash to bring you my sit down, my preview of Got to Get Out with the one, the only Omarosa, to find out how she ended up getting under that roof and why you should check out the show.
In Walmart's Huluville, everyone ready their cart. Amazing Black Friday deals are about to start. Online and in the app, such great deals to explore. Everything you love from tech, toys, and more. The days to save and the ones to remember. It's only the 25th to the 30th of November. Set your alarms. Don't miss out. These deals are epic, without a doubt. The Who's are all ready, but are you? Walmart Black Friday deals await. Who knew?
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm here to pick up my son Milo.
There's no Milo here.
Who picked up my son from school?
Streaming only on Peacock.
I'm gonna need the name of everyone that could have a connection.
You don't understand. It was just the 5 of us.
So this was all planned.
What are you gonna do? I will do whatever it takes to get my son back.
I honestly didn't see this coming. These nice people killing each other.
All Her Fault. A new series streaming now only on Peacock.
All right, I'm here with an out-and-out reality TV titan, I shall say. Perhaps even more prolific than the mansion that she holed herself up in for the better part of a week and a half to try to win this money. It is the one, the only Omarosa. Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Hi, I'm great. I'm so excited to get the chance to talk with you about your newest reality TV venture. And, I was thinking about it. This is celebrating over 20 years of you in the genre.
I can't believe it. 100 reality shows. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, how do you look back on that? I mean, it's a kind of an odd way to celebrate an anniversary, but I mean, suffice it to say, the way your life has changed over the course of the past, couple of decades from showing up in all these unscripted shows, it must be such a whirlwind to think about.
I'm just so happy that reality TV is still doing so well and that we keep giving the fans what they want. They want to be entertained, they want the twists and turns, they want the drama, and boy, do we bring the drama, right? But they've also stayed loyal throughout the time since our show first premiered ages ago. So I'm really excited to be celebrating this 20th anniversary by unveiling my newest project, Gots to
Yeah.
Get Out.
Well, let's get into Got to Get Out in a manner of speaking, because again, you've done it all essentially. So what was it about Got to Get Out that appealed to you the most as a purely new concept of reality TV?
Well, I thought that it was actually going back to our reality roots. I thought it was getting back to that physicality and the gameplay that I fell in love with reality TV originally. I'm so happy that it had all these different elements of shows that I love. So it's like it took elements out of like Big Brother and Apprentice, Surreal Life, and all of these different shows and put it into one. And then there's the big pot. $1 million. I mean, what would you do, Mike, for $1 million?
I don't know if be able to make air at this point. I think the family friendly rating might have to get expunged at that point. There's a lot. There's a considerable amount.
Exactly. And so people get crazy when there's a lot on the line. And so yes, the pot got up there and things got really, really crazy.
Well, there's a lot to get into about this show. Sticking on the concept, again, what makes it so intriguing is that, at least from our perspective, the only way to be eliminated is besides, removing yourself from the house, is essentially to get out. And so there isn't necessarily this like periodic period of voting people out. Instead, it's more so about this idea of kind of playing, tower defense, a bit of capture the flag in a manner of speaking. So what was it like to embrace that whole new set of skills in your reality TV resume?
Well, because one of my specialties in reality TV is eliminating my competition, right? So I spent a whole career of how do I get Mike out of the house, right? What do I have to do? What type of scheming, backstabbing line do I need to get him out so that I'm the last woman standing at the end of the show? This show was totally different, right? It was you took your own fate in your hand. There was no tribal council, there was no boardroom, there was no block, right? It was just you, and if a window or door opened, you had to run as fast as you can to get out. And that's a very different concept in reality TV. We've never seen anything like this.
So you were joined alongside in this new concept by faces old and new. I want to start with the new because, as we're talking about, you are someone whose reputation might precede you a bit. And, you have been able to play a lot of these shows as of late with a lot of fellow veterans, as we'll get into. So what was it like for you to now sort of be thrown back into the pool, proverbially and perhaps literally speaking, with some of these newer faces, some of these people that don't necessarily either know a lot about reality TV or have a certain preconceived notion about you as well?
Well, there are good and bad to playing with Neos, right? The good is that you can influence them, you can, direct them the way you want. The bad is that they have no idea what's going on. They're so overwhelmed by the production and the schedule and the this and the gaming. And I mean, this was a 24-hour show. Some of them got overwhelmed. They got in their head. They got extremely paranoid. The vets don't do that. Like we're like, yeah, we'll get to it, right? So there's good and bad to it. In my case, it was really difficult working with them because they were so intimidated by Omarosa, right? That I couldn't break through to a lot of them to get past the persona to focus on the bag, focus on the money. They were so focused on, is she gonna take me out or whatever? Is she gonna betray me or whatever? As opposed to, look, let's work together just for a short time to get out, and we'll let the rest figure it out. But I got to work with Doodles, and I'm really happy that I did because he's a smart kid.
Well, let's look to the other side of things where you have some of these people who know, if not the game outright, the game of reality TV a bit more. What was that like from your perspective? Because obviously these are more known commodities, but at the same time, I'm sure they, again, also have their own conceived notions about you as well.
Right. So that's the good thing, is that as vets, we knew what to expect and we didn't trust anyone, right? We didn't trust anyone. We just kept the main thing the main thing. I was fortunate enough to have Kim Zodiac and Cynthia Bailey as my roommates. So we got to talk strategy all night long. We got to go into our shared bathroom and talk strategy. So we were able to kind of work through some of the difficulties that we faced in the game with the Neos. And so that was the advantage. The disadvantage is they're just as competitive as I am. They're gamers, they're experienced, and so you see that play out throughout each of the episodes.
So, I mean, you talk about, whispering in bathrooms to get your opinions across. And I mean, listen, I talked to you after Celebrity Big Brother. You are no stranger to competing inside, a very confined environment. But I have to imagine there was probably some amount of claustrophobia, especially with the entire conceit, right? Of like, the whole goal is for people to escape. Did you get that feeling of confinement as the time amounted over the course of the show?
Yeah, I mean, these shows are really hard. Either way you look at it, you're locked in with strangers, your routine is thrown off, what you eat, what you would do, all of that is thrown off. And you only have this space, right? You can't just jump into your car and go where you want and do what you want. That's difficult. But as an added layer of difficulty for me, I was also in school while this was going on. I'm completing law school. And so there were segments of time that we carved out where I had to log into my contract law class, right? And I had to work on homework, and I was away from the action. And so I had an added layer of difficulty to navigate while I was doing this show. But I'm happy to say I passed my class, and this show went really well. So I think it's a win-win.
Well, now that you have been able to pass and everything like that, that you're on your way to a degree. Obviously, again, we are talking on the 20th anniversary of you being in this world of unscripted TV, and I'm sure there is more to come. Do you have sort of like a pie in the sky show that already exists that you haven't been a part of that you want to be, or are you to this point of the show now trying to pursue like as many new shows and projects as possible?
I mean, no, there's a show that Jeff Probst had been talking for years about doing a celebrity version of Survivor. I know you've heard the rumors, Mike, for years and years. The moment they decide to greenlight the celebrity version of Survivor, I definitely want to do that show, and I've wanted to do it for a very long time. I think that that would be a hoot to go on and do such an iconic show. I've always wanted to do Amazing Race. And of course, Traders is out, and hopefully, that opportunity presents itself. So yeah, there's still some shows that I'm very interested in being a part of.
Who would be your ideal Amazing Race partner?
That's the thing. That's why all these years I'm like, who would I compete with? I don't want to compete with my husband because he is just so wonderful and sweet. And I'm terrible under pressure and I'm competitive, and he's not. He's so level headed. And I'm just like, oh. So I'd have to find somebody who is just as, crazy competitive as me. So I'd have to find another reality star who would want to do it with me. But
I
I
mean,
think
yeah. If people are listening, that's an even greater pitch. Is like you're gonna get twice the amount of reality TV chaos in one team.
I would love to do it. I think that's a great show.
Well, last but not least, bringing things back to Got to Get Out. Now that you, and are in the process of completing your law degree, make the case for me and the audience by proxy. Without getting into too many details, why should we check out Got to Get Out?
Let me tell you something. This show has everything that you have wanted in reality shows, but it's been missing. It's got drama, it's got alliances, it's got scheming, and there is $1 million on the line, and we don't have enough time to figure it out. We've got to go for it. So if you're looking for a show to binge, this is your show. Tune in to Gots to Get Out on Hulu. It won't disappoint.
There we go. Case closed. This is why you've been doing this for 20 years. That was just like a professional promo. Cut print. We got it.
Yes, we have. Thank you so much, Mike. And I want to hear what you think of the show once you've had a chance to view it, once everybody else gets to watch it. Let me know what you think.
100%. I will be there with bells on. It's such a great opportunity to get the chance to talk with you again about another reality show. I'm sure we'll have many more in the future. We're manifesting you out there on an island or in a castle or, alongside miscellaneous reality TV celeb. It's been 20 years. but there's plenty more to come for you, Omarosa, and I'm really excited to see what happens next.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Of course, all the best to you and yours, and thanks again. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.